Every person has a different preference. For example, when I go to the steakhouse, my steak order is blue rare. I do get judged once I place my order, but I don't mind it because it is my preference. However, rules apply with your preference. Some of the steakhouses do not have blue rare options. In this case, I order medium rare. Preference in life is similar as well. Preference decides your hobby and your lifestyle. Decorating a house, decorating flower gardens, collecting stuff, or television shows that you are watching can be the preference. And since you have preference, you can have joy in life, and the joy can be a way to make you pursue your goal. Like I mentioned before, I love writing, and I do enjoy every moment when I write, because I'm pursuing my dream by filling up each word on the white screen. There is no reason to judge people by their preference in life. For some people, they cannot understand your preference as well. However, there is a line of preference, and we have to have strong morals and ethics to judge if your preference is morally acceptable or not. If you think it is not morally acceptable, then have a counseling session and control yourself. Preference at a shallow level is close to our lifestyle, and we follow it like habits, like how we put the shows on television. There are genres categorized, and people watch it with their preference. Some people prefer gaming over watching television shows, and there are people who prefer doing outdoor activity over staying home. It is a preference at a shallow level. The surface of the preference is the measurement of your ideas and moral limits. To pursue your preference, you need to ask the following questions. What can you sacrifice? What will you sacrifice? How do you pursue your preference? And what do you want to achieve with your goal? There are other questions you can ask yourself before you pursue your preference. Questions from the beginning will be the answer, and it limits you from going against morals and ethics. Preference begins from curiosity, and it can turn into desire, but if you do not have discipline, then it can harm you or others. Any habits or hobbies can be an addiction, and addiction makes you lose the control of your emotions sometimes. The difference between passion and addiction is that passion is you will plan your future and control emotions. However, addiction is only focusing on the current moment, and you are in a more emotional status. Emotions make us get addicted to what you are doing. Addiction makes your morals and ethics weaker and end up causing you to make wrong decisions. Preference is the direction of perspective. The hobbies or preference of ideas, preference of lifestyle are representing your perspective and your characteristics. Preference is one way to decorate your surface, and people see you through your surface and judge you from the surface. Our behavior is affected by our preferences sometimes. What we watch, what we experience affects our behavior. Preference is secret desire, instinctive curiosity, and as we pursue, we learn and study your interest. For example, if you like a movie about your favorite king from history, the desire from you to be as great as him will make you adapt some of his behavior and his perspective towards life. It depends how strong your will to change, then your behavior changes. Do not lose yourself while you are pursuing your preference. Have awareness of who you are. Your existence and your identity should be discovered by yourself before pursuing your preference. You exist, therefore preference exists. Addiction comes if the feeling of pressure from the preference is greater than your existence. Society gets greedier by watching others, comparing yourself with others. Sometimes I doubt if the meaning of preference in modern days has a price tag. Money is important, but the meaning of preference shouldn't be interfered with by money. Don't just decide your preference where the money is. Have a preference where the heart leads you to. Preference helps you define groups, or the place where you want to belong to. Preference makes life entertaining. However, preference can be another way to see the world selectively. If you want to see the world widely, then you need to understand the different preferences as well. Do not judge others' preference based on your preference. Then you will have a narrow perspective. Make sure you have a strong identity and existence awareness before you express your preference. The reason that group exists is because they exist to persuade you. Stubbornness. Sometimes you need stubbornness in your heart and in your belief. That's how you create your strong identity and existence. Don't be afraid to look foolish, but fear to be a fool. The difference of knowing the difference between looking foolish and being a fool shows your bravery and mental capability. Not everyone has this attribute in their character, but having bravery in your belief will make you enlightened. In the box of life, without preference, you feel boredom, and the boredom brings you anxiety and depression. Having a strong preference helps you to have joy and consolation in life. Remember to have preference, but obey the morals and ethics, and make sure you respect others' preference as well. It means we are respecting community and cultures,